Folks, welcome on in. It is December 1st. Do you know where your playoff chances are? If you're the Buffalo Bills, they are outstanding after a victory in Pittsburgh yesterday, victory Monday today. We're in the Hamburg studios here, live on Heard of Buffalo, live on Trainwreck Sports. Thank you for following along. Trainwreck Today. We got Slick L in the saddle to my left. We got Dreamboat Don on the ones and twos to the right. With all due respect, we were just getting back into town about 11 hours ago.
I might as well have slept at the studio. We hit exit 57, the same exact. So here I am again, doing zig and zagging like a tennis match, but I'm back here, saddled up. I might have slept here overnight. That might have been better for me.
Yeah, battling the snow, treacherous drive back.
Shout out to our driver. Made it happen.
Yeah, he made it happen. And yeah, got back here nice and icy here as well. So December 1st, this is when we expect this type of weather, but vibes are high. Yeah, Bills to make the playoffs, yes, minus 2,500.
Yeah, I think they're in the 90 percentile. I want to say they're in the mid-90s at least after that. And again, this was the biggest swing game remaining on the schedule. The Steelers, we could get into it yesterday. Obviously, game day Buffalo. We strap in at 8:30 a.m. Orchard Park, right to Pittsburgh. We got there by just after noon, so that was a pretty smooth drive in. We all caught some Z's, but we also got some good vibes going on and some energy. Then we got to the tailgate. Little tough with the weather. You cannot control the weather. It's the one thing that is uncontrollable. It said it wasn't going to be raining afternoon, but we got there slick and it was sprinkling.
Mother Nature is undefeated. It was supposed to rain around noon in Pittsburgh. I blame the fact that our bus got there just a tad bit early. People were blaming us for bringing in that.
They were kind of pissed. It was kind of messed up. We got there. You guys brought this rain. Like
20 minutes of freezing rain. And if you had a plate of food, that wasn't the best ideal situation either. But we survived it. And as I correctly predicted, done for the day after that.
You did lock in the done for the day.
Yeah.
I mean, he's shooting 100, Don.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought I saw or felt a drop, but it never commenced to do a full rain.
I think there was a rogue drop or two. Not a full-on sprinkle, so he sits 100, but there was a rogue drop or two.
Yeah, and in hindsight, we probably should have just told our driver, like, dude, just circle the block like 4 times till this rain lets up. Because, you know, the cold is one thing, but when you started off and, you know, I was dressing, I had some boots on, I had a waterproof coat, but the hood wasn't. And when you get rained on that early and then that subsides and you just get hit with the wind and the coldness, it's hard, you know, wet, cold, they don't make a comfortable mixture. So, but we battled through it.
This is
had
what
a
I'm
great
saying.
time.
It's like Bills or tailgate. Sometimes it's tough sledding in the first half. You know, sometimes you're getting your feet under you, especially at an away tailgate. Home, it's a little bit easier. You know, you're going to be behind O'Neill's. You know that, you know, the Zach Gherkin band is going to be rocking. Obviously, this was a little different. We had the Nerds Gone Wild getting suited up. By the time they got launched, by the time that rain stopped, the Wingnuts was slinging and the great times were ready to be had. So, like, it was a great last, 1:15 on from that tailgate. Movie, cinema.
Yeah, speaking of battled, Nerds Gone Wild battled through that weather, covering up all the equipment. 1:30, I think they got rocking, and people were deprived at that point of an entertainment source.
Yes.
So once the Nerds got up there, all bets were off, all hell broke loose, and it was a great time per usual at the game day tailgate out in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, I should sit in, I should rip a solo on keys, and then as you know, they got up there for a little bit, I'm like, you know what? I am not jealous of performing right now. This is some conditions where the fingers, the fingers go numb and you lose some coordination. So props to those guys for battling the elements as well. Had the chicken wing eating contest on stage as well, battling the elements as well for that. Doing an eating contest again where I'm not even sure I can grip the wing. And I was wearing gloves, but you can't eat wings with gloves on. So yeah.
So we also made a trek over at a point halfway through the tailgate
the gold
zone, the game day Pittsburgh experience for those Steelers fans out there in Pittsburgh. Don, this is the first time I've ever seen this. We were doing a shotgun circle in the middle. The DJ's on the mics about to announce us. He has a PA on either side of him on stands. The wind blew both PAs off the stands.
It was kind of a sign of things to come.
They were both on the ground. The one was almost rolling. You know how hilly it is in Pittsburgh. The one was almost rolling down that hill where we were parked back there. And he just kept him going. Like the party just had to go on.
Like I'm not picking him up.
The PAs were going horizontal on the floor. You could tell the sound was altered.
There was a terrible moment where I went to go be like, your sound sucks. And I looked over and I saw that his sound system was essentially like blown over. And like I was like, oh, like that's the last thing he wants to hear when he's like dealing with that. I was like, and then so I obviously united both fronts, the Gold Zone and the Bills Mafia fans that were there with a fuck the Ravens.
Yes. I think
we got that done.
We
got everybody on the same page.
Well.
We get back. Now, again, this was a little bit of it. You obviously wanted to go in the game from the jump. Don and I were more like, maybe we'll go to the Rivers Casino. Maybe we'll go to the like a nearby bar or something. I didn't realize even how cold I was by the time that like 3:30 hit. It was nippy yesterday in Pittsburgh.
It was. I was appropriately dressed. Once the rain wore off, I think we were standing by some fires a little bit too, warm up. But yeah, you got to be ready for these type of conditions when you get to late November games, December. It's only going to get worse for us in Orchard Park. We know that. But only 3 more too. I mean, it's not looking like we're going to have any into January. So, but yeah, appropriately dressed. Went into the stadium. I have to say, I was really excited to see this stadium. Really cool field once you get to your seat. But the 100 level is atrociously designed. It's absolutely god awful. Imagine going like every third of the stadium. If you want to keep going around the concourse, you have to go up to the equivalent of the 200s and back down on the other side because there's like, you just can't. There's a wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so if you go the wrong way around the stadium once, you're fucked. And it took me almost 20 minutes to get to my seat. That's when I went live on Instagram. And thankfully, able to get some content out of that. I was going around the concourse for the first drive. So we had a lot of people complaining on the Instagram live.
We got minor breaking news on this Victory Monday.
Okay, here we go.
I have no choice but to bring it up in that way because the last time a wide receiver got released from his team in the middle of the season, he ended up on the Buffalo Bills. Adam Thielen has just been released by the Minnesota Vikings. I want to say, and I want to pull this up real quick, just as far as value before you say that it was absolutely, he's like worthless or something. The Vikings traded for him, I want to say a 4th and a 5th or a 5th and a 6th this offseason. So there's some value still there perceived. Doesn't seem like it worked out. Let me read this statement from Thielen. Last week's, he just thanks the Vikings fans. This is tremendously difficult for me since last spring. I knew this is going to be my last season. Minnesota was, with gratitude and love, I'll be back to retire. That's the end of the note.
Well, I mean,
so that means he's planning on going to another team. Like he wanted to go to another team.
Yeah.
Do you also see that Justin Jefferson yesterday had his career low in yards, 4 yards?
Didn't see that. No.
Now again, they were starting Brosmer or somebody. They were starting back. But again, I had to bring them back. When there's wide receiver talk, the Bills are always involved. Slick.
Was there not a point where like Bills Mafia was beefing with Adam Thielen's wife or something on Twitter?
I mean, it's very possible. There's so many forgotten beefs.
I think from what I've seen, they're quite the couple in Minnesota from what I've heard about.
We need all the personalities. We need all the storylines. Bring them all in.
Agreed.
For sure. Meow Mix has the chance to do the funniest thing ever if the Bills don't.
Oh my God, Meow Mix really does have the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing ever.
They traded him for a 2026 draft pick.
Yeah.
And now they could just get him back with a free draft pick
for a playoff run.
Yeah,
for sure. Speaking of playoff runs, obviously we get closer to game time yesterday. We were talking about it. Steelers fans were just like not very boisterous yesterday. And now I respect the culture. I think we saw how it's very similar to like Buffalo, although the stadium being like it's surrounded by like, mainstream, like, like a Wendy's, a McDonald's is kind of like weird, a little bit a throughway. Like,
by the way, 2 open parking spots at the Wendy's, 5 minutes from the stadium.
Yeah, we were walking by like, and there were open spots at the fast food restaurant. I don't know if they tow like crazy. Maybe they do.
Yeah.
But yes, there were open spots there, which is surprising. You go into the game with John, Maddie, game day side. We go over to McFadden's, Don. And I just want to say, nobody Bills-wise really had a fun first half, whether you were watching that in East Amherst or if you were in Pittsburgh. I don't know if there could be a worse place on earth to be an away fan watching a game than McFadden's time.
Yeah, I think, we were talking about how Steelers fans weren't really rowdy. Well, there, it was a much younger crowd, and people were definitely rowdy. The slightest, like tackle on a third down or, that fumble we were talking about before the show, they went crazy. Got introduced to a new Steelers song we had never heard before.
The Here We Go anthem is crazy. It goes pretty hard. It's got some country vibes. Here we go. It's very decent. I would say the fans there were a little crazy. What did you think of my take on the DJ?
Yeah, I mean the DJ. I think he was just maybe there's just not much to be excited about as a Steeler fan these days. So you got to take every chance you can get. But yeah, they get a stop. They get a fumble recovery. It's the Here We Go, we're going to the Super Bowl song every time. 2
or 3 times, right? Like in the first half. Like, so I don't know if he was going the anthem, yada, yada, yada. But it's also very funny, Slick. Like on the James Cook fumble, I don't know if he was like about to go live, right? So he's like, oh, the ball's out, go get it! Like, and he was like over like the whole like thing, right, Don? I'm not making that up. Like that actually happened.
Yeah,
there were a couple plays where he was like so imagine like a Biacco at Rec Room. Like it was just so amateurish, like in my eyes. And then again, it was the voice of Joe Pesci. Oh, there's a ball out, go get him! Like, I can't do the Joe Pesci voice right now, but it was just ridiculous.
I'm gonna have one slight complaint. So,
by the way, this place was packed to the gills. So if you're like a Steelers fan, it was great. I'm sure it's the best. Like, you know what I mean? But as an away fan, it sucked.
There were some other Bills fans there, but yeah, we were outnumbered, deep in enemy territory. Kind of felt cool though, until things started going like poorly for the Bills in the first half. I'm gonna say though, at this bar, I get a Guinness. Traditionally, Guinnesses are in like 20-ounce glasses. I'd settle for a 16. They're giving out like what looked like 12-ounce like plastic cups. I'm paying like $7 or $8 for it, so that was kind of brutal.
Unacceptable.
We didn't go in because I'm like, this way I can, instead of spending on the ticket, we can get another side of content. I'll have some beers, save a little bit of money. Didn't seem to be the case, but switched up the vibes for the second half and. So Don and
I were kind of like morally dead in the water. We were just like, oh, like it sucks. We're like 7-3, like especially because the Bills were moving the ball, like rushing. Nobody was really passing for anything in the first half yesterday. Gatesy is like, you guys want to change up the vibes? And like it was something like you didn't think about until like that moment, and we're both just like, yes. We go down the road to Southern Tier. We strap in. First play from scrimmage. Bosa's and Mimosas, Slick.
Bosa's and Mimosas getting not only 2 Rodgers, laying the smack.
Oh, that was
down.
like there's a sack, and then there's like a
here
bear
comes
hug
the
behind,
boom.
Crush him.
Yep, here comes the boom. Quick scoop from your boy CB, and the rest is history.
Off to the races for sure. I mean, it just felt like, like you talk about halftime adjustments, you talk about whatever. It just felt like another team kind of came out. And now there's still some offensive deficiencies. People want to see better things in offense. Seems like there's still also kind of like a frustrated, angry vibe out of everyone this morning, right? Like like I said, this is the no happy season.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it wasn't as much of a bloodbath as the Panthers game, but it was kind of like that. Like we ran all over them, and people, want more. Again, I see people. I see Joe Brady tweeting out like 1-0 hashtag girl dad, and people in the comments being like, congratulations, but stop calling wide receiver screens. Like, which is,
you just can't.
I don't know. Like, voice your frustrations in a better way than I think commenting on a tweet about having a child. That's just my opinion.
There's a time and place, plain and simple.
I don't think that's the time or place. Maybe tweet at comment on an older tweet or something if you want to get his attention.
And the unfortunate thing, like I know this triangle that we're in right now of us three, we would have the same energy in person, like if we did that. But that 95% of the people commenting that if they saw Joe Brady in person, be fawning for an autograph or like trying to just like get like a handshake or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, how do you argue with almost 250 yards on the ground against a team that is supposed to be great, against the running game.
Isn't this kind of like the double-edged sword of Joe Brady though? Because you're like, oh my God, historic performance. Like we found a weakness against the Steelers, like clearly because we were without O-line and we ran the ball like basically right down those. And we exploited it, right? Like that should be alone a great thing. Any team does that any week, it's outstanding. But then the anti-Joe Brady of it is like, this guy calls the same play every time. This guy can't mix it up. Now, again, I know, should he mix it up when we're gouging them?
For sure. Great point. But the anti-Joe Brady last night is like using that quote from that one Steelers player. I've never seen anyone run the same play so many times in one game.
I think it was TJ Watt. Didn't he say they were just calling the same thing over and over?
TJ Watt said he's never seen a play like spammed. Like it was almost like he was talking about Madden.
Yes.
A play spammed that much and like for a team to have success with.
Which in this case would be Joe Brady calling James Cook on the halfback.
Did you guys see that one overhead all 22 shot on the Ray Davis like in the third quarter? There was one that went to Ray Davis in the third quarter or something. And it looked like there were no linebackers on the screen because they were all just eaten up by the Bills like line and it was just running into the open field. So again, the running attack was awesome. Like we're in a crazy, like it's just such a crazy spot as fans because this team is the best when that running attack. And by the way, it's the three-headed running attack. James Cook has been great all season, going back to last season too, but this offense is the best when you have James Cook, Ray Davis, and Ty Johnson all making plays. They all made plays in the running game yesterday for sure.
And we had some Josh Allen designed runs. Finally,
the beast gets unleashed.
Which we've been looking for. Well. Now, we got to address the other thing, wide receiver. Nice to get Brand Cooks involved early. But here are your receiving leaders. James Cook, 3 receptions for 33. Dawson Knox, 3 for 28. Ty Johnson, 3 for 20. So our leaders are not even receivers.
Yeah, and
it's a tight end and 2 running backs.
A lot of those are coming out of the backfield too.
The only thing I'd say is that going into this year, if you had told any Bills fan, hey, guess like the top 3 stats guys for the Bills or like the top 3 numbers guys, I think they would have said Dalton Kincaid, Josh Palmer, Keon Coleman, or Khalil Shakir. Sorry, Shakir for sure in there. Those are your top 4 guys, right? Like those top 4. Shakir's been healthy, but they're not stretching the field with him. Palmer and Kincaid have been hurt, and then the Keon situation has been touch and go. He's put up some halfway decent numbers when he's played, but he obviously needs the best abilities availability. So my only point on that would be that it's kind of good that we can run the game without having any threat of a passing game, because if we get a threat of a passing game going, then this offense becomes unstoppable.
Yeah, I think too, like Brady, there is like gamesmanship. Every game's different. Every approach is different. I think he saw 2 early turnovers. They get a touchdown. And he's like, listen, I just want to have this game in a stranglehold. Let's just run the ball, tick, 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 and rely on our defense to get it done as long as we don't put them in a bad position with turnovers. And that's pretty much what the whole second half was about, When I look at it, I think, because we were running the ball early in the game and having success too, I think it was run the ball to slow down like their edge rushers, right? Because we had the backups in, like let's slow down them rushing to the outside. Yeah.
But then when they were having success, it's like, well, why even go to the pass game if we're just going to run it up the middle and have success like that? Because that's what they seemed like they were doing.
Yeah.
It was big boy football.
Yeah.
Boomers had to love what they saw yesterday.
Power football.
Big boy power football for sure. Speaking of power, how about this Hayward Allen incident? I know it's funny, but he was pretty sassy in that post-game interview.
Very sassy. He sounded like a bitter child.
Very sassy.
Yeah. I didn't see the play.
Apparently, it was like a lot of the Bills side is saying it was like a very typical, like when a lineman ends up on a guy and you kind of like jostle to get off.
Right. Yeah.
Again,
I didn't see much more than that. I have seen some dastardly stuff from Cam Hayward in the past.
Yeah.
So,
and Hayward, and that happened in like the first or second quarter, and he was about it all game, right? Like it was like it bothered him all game. The only thing I'm telling you is that angry Josh is the best Josh. We need
so great.
We don't need sugar high Josh. We don't need supermodel Josh. We need angry Josh. When we get angry Josh, the Bills win percentage has got to be like 950.
7-yard run for that set the all-time record nonetheless.
Was it 7 yards? Yeah.
7 or 8. Should have been
no, it's okay. It was very lengthy.
1 or 2.
It was zigzagging. It was crazy.
Should have been 1 or 2. Like most quarterbacks go down there. That Josh Allen pushes the pile. Yeah, absolutely.
I just love too. So he's asked about it. Cam Hayward kind of has all this sass. Is like, like the quarterback getting these calls, blah, blah, blah. And then Josh gets asked about it. It's just like, yeah, fantastic football player. Great, great competitor. And just takes the ultimate high road, which like, if I'm a guy where I'm like pissed off and thought I got cheap shotted, and then I see the guy get asked about it, and instead of being mad, he just calls me a great player, I'm just pounding my fists on the table. Like,
yeah, this guy.
No, like he wants the beef so bad, and Josh doesn't give it to him. That's even funnier.
Oh, when like it's like in hockey when the one guy's trying to fight and the other guy's like, nah, he's just like skating around as the referee. Like, it's amazing. So that was what Cam Hayward was. The curse continues, by the way. I'm talking, of course, about the trash curse. Jalen Ramsey improves to 0-7.
Oh, I thought it was 0-8.
Well, no, I thought it was 0-7. He said he was correcting from 0-8.
Oh, maybe.
I
thought it was
either way. Shout out to Talbot for that one. But Jalen Ramsey has not beaten Josh Allen since calling him trash coming out of the draft. Can't wait to intercept him. I wish Jalen Ramsey could play on every team we play.
Me too. Karma's a bitch.
Seriously.
And, it's written all over Jalen Ramsey's face at the moment.
We've talked about the historic rushing. We talked about Ramsey. We talked a little bit about Keon. Is this a Keon's back spot? He still had a drop or two, right? Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's like, I see it. Listen, all I know is that Agent Paul got the clocks out last night. He had his moment. He got the clocks out. Are the clocks out for good, or is time still ticking?
Time's ticking. I didn't see enough to really tell me anything had changed. The touchdown was great, but it felt like all of his other touchdowns this year where it's like, you should be making that play. It's kind of a layup when your quarterback's Josh Allen. I mean, his touchdown last night, it was basically quick slants.
He almost had two.
All to the left, and Josh just had to go.
He almost had two.
Like that was how good the catch was.
But did you see the breakdown? I'll give credit where it's due to our guy Eric cover one for sure. On the fourth down play, free rusher, Josh pump fakes, gets him to jump up, goes around, and Keon's like kind of cutting like over.
But he does do a zag.
But you see, there's like two defenders.
Second defender comes in on him.
And all Josh does is like kind of like lean in like this, and they kind of like converge, and then he pops it out to Keon, and Keon looks so open because of just like those big things.
Well, and
so again,
Keon double moved on that second defender too.
So did you guys see the end of the Commanders game last night, the highlights? I know we were driving back home during it.
No,
but it ended on a 2-point conversion where Mariota rolled out and threw it, and the DB just jumped up and made a play. Again, a play that Josh Allen kind of avoided in that spot. It reminded me of why he's the guy, why he's him.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Keon, like, happy for him, but, he had 2 catches. One of them was the 8-yard touchdown. The other was for 1 yard, 3 targets. It's hard to tell because it wasn't a game where we asked really a lot out of him. So, but I'll be an optimist. I said I was out on Keon. Like I want things to go well. So I'm going to say that, and we'll hope he shows up when we need him in a big spot. But Slick, you were saying the Renegade got booed.
Renegade got booed.
Let's they waited until I feel like they kept waiting for a moment. When you look at it in the second half, the Bills just came out and just started pounding like face in, basically.
Shut them down on fourth, and then they played Renegade.
150 yards or something in the third quarter to like 3 for the Steelers.
Yeah.
And by the way, it was 18 total, and 15 of it was on AJ Epinesa when he knocked the ball out of the hand after the incompletion.
Oh my goodness!
So here we go.
Which I don't know how true that is.
No, this is fact.
No one's happy to hear it. I think the only people happy to hear Renegade last night were Bills fans.
There they are. They're jumping up and down.
I turned to the season ticket holder, lovely lady next to me, and I go, "Why is the Jumbotron in every single LED light?"
Yeah.
She goes, "This is when they play Renegade." I look at her and I go, "They're about to play fucking Renegade right now?" And she goes, "Yeah, they like do it every game." To me, it felt like playing Mr. Brightside when we were losing against them.
Yeah, it's a little more of a rallying cry, I think, than Mr. Brightside, but
Look at all those towels.
All right, yeah, no,
like
man. This is kind of gonna have it. These guys aren't having it. Yeah. So.
Oh no! When you see the 2019 version, which caught a lot of hype around here because Barkley was going like. So what they did in 2019, I forget it was like a pick'em. They were playing Duck Hodges or whatever.
Yes.
They said something like they game planned for Renegade. Like they knew that like when Renegade came on, they told themselves they wanted to be like the most pumped they could be. And if you remember, they came out of Renegade and threw, I believe it was like a 50-yard downfield pass to like John Brown, like right out of it.
Yeah.
Like it's very much like the rally, like in the 2019 version, it looks like the stadium's going nuts. Like,
like
everything's about to become blue, which is again typically what it is.
I mean, they were lost
out
of the picture.
Yeah, they were lost. You waited too late. Again, it was the exact same vibe. You hit the nail on the head, Don. That like they're not used in the same way, but it wasn't used appropriately. Someone had to be there to be like, hey,
someone had to
don't pull the trigger on Renegade right now.
Not right now, man.
Quick on for sure. So again, shout out Steelers fans. For the most part, they were super nice and super passionate about their team. They're just a little upset that they're 7-6 now, and they have to deal with Aaron Rodgers, who's calling out teammates, kind of sort of low key.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing new from him.
Did you see him? So he goes. You know, some guys aren't on the same page about things. I told Janu to run an in, and he ran it out, and he took a little pause. And this is like when you're a grand master of being like an asshole.
Yeah.
Like a grand master
the biggest of assholes.
Yeah, like when you are so good at it. And he goes, and I know, Janu's
he's a true professional.
So I know he's sick about that.
I'm sure he's sick.
Yeah, which is like, if Janu wasn't sick, that's
like,
basically,
you better be
Janu,
sick,
buddy.
Because I am.
And he's talking about like they need to do stuff outside the facility. Like I get the Bills do that. Like the Bills do stuff as teams. Like, but is he talking about like going to throw at like the Three Rivers Park? Like what is he talking about? Like,
you know what I mean? About like going to the movies?
Does anybody want to go do like out of team activities with Aaron Rodgers?
Does anyone want to go sit in my closet with the lights off while we meditate for a couple hours?
Well, speaking of Rodgers, the rest of the NFL, Meow Mix stuns the LA Rams. I think just as stunning as this result, what were they, like 10-point underdogs?
10.5-point dogs. I took the Rams. Silly me.
Just as surprising, though, and you may have monitored this because you may have been paying attention, the Rams were ahead in this game. Panthers went ahead. Rams went ahead. Panthers went ahead. Rams went ahead. There were so many times that the Rams went ahead of these Panthers. Yet the Panthers continued to battle back.
Panthers showed some real grit, some gut.
Big time gut. I hate they'd use Don's gut against him, but
no, back and forth.
And now they're on the cusp of the playoff picture. You said,
yeah. I mean, they're keeping up in the NFC South with who is it? The Buccaneers. They're a game ahead of the Buccaneers, so they have the same number of wins, one more loss. Now, here's the crazy thing, though: they're on a bye week this week. Pretty nice spot to be in.
Not a bad.
They're massive win before the bye week for sure.
Yeah, and especially when everyone's counting them out. Now the Buccaneers and Panthers are same position. Bucks play Saints this week. They come back and play the Saints. But here's the interesting part: top two teams, Bucks, Panthers, they play each other twice in the last 3 weeks. So that's really going to come down to that. I think they both beat the Saints. Although last time Panthers lost to the Saints, I think that was the famous game we were fading Meow Mix for being fair weather fans. But I think they got a real shot. And speaking of running the ball, I mean, they can run the ball great. They kind of have a 3-player. They have Hubbard, Dowdle, and then Bryce Young too. So yeah, it does. It just adds to how wild the NFL has been this year.
Yeah.
Like, again, we felt after the Texans game too, how could we lose to the Texans? How can this happen? Texans turn around and beat the Colts.
And we also
supposedly one of the best teams also in the AFC. So
yeah. The only caveat there, which is a small one, is that it's the Davis Mills. CJ Stroud was back, but he wasn't 100% apparently.
And also
still very much
Daniel Jones has a cracked fibula.
True. So that's only making it worse. Yeah, I mean, again, there's a reason, and McDermott teams have learned this out the wazoo, that they don't hand out October championships. They don't hand out November championships. You're stocking wins, and it's frustrating when you lose a game, especially when you lose to like the Dolphins, Like, who like are looking better, but like the Dolphins, the Falcons have been iffy to losing that way to them for sure. But yeah, the Bills are at 8-4. It's like if you told anyone before the season 8-4, they'd probably take it. Like you'd be a little disappointed, but you'd probably take it.
Yeah, and also too, like we know Kincaid's important. I feel like we didn't play him this past game because we could rest him up, and we're just like, hey, let's lean on other guys. And that's kind of the thing. I'll give you a little scenario. Would you rather be the first seed, but then going into the playoffs with Kincaid hurt, some of the guys we have hurt now, hoping they're back after that bye week? Or would you rather be going in as a wild card fully healthy?
Chiefs, Bucks, Ravens, Patriots, Steelers. Having played all those teams,
yeah,
there might be 3 or 4 losses in there, is all I'm saying. So
for sure.
The thing that's changed this all ridiculously and why it feels so hopeless is that the Patriots are 10-2. Just flat out.
Nothing you can do.
Yeah,
there.
if they were 7-5, do you think anyone would be like caring? No. Like it would be nonsense. So credit to them for putting the Bills in this situation. Now the Bills got a battle for mind. With that said, I do think the Bills play the best when they're angry, Josh Allen, and when people doubt them. That goes back a half a decade. Deion Dawkins has been saying that for that long. They play better when they're doubted. And well, guess what? The Bills have plenty of doubt right now. I'm just looking at this though, real quick. The NFL standings on the AFC side. Like if the Broncos hosted the Chiefs tomorrow, what would that spread be?
Broncos would be favored by like 3.5.
If the Patriots hosted the Chiefs tomorrow, what would they be? Same thing.
Around there, yeah.
So it's like anyone can beat anyone. Just figure out how to play well. Get Josh Palmer back. Get Kincaid back. Get Ed Oliver back and figure it out.
Agreed. So probably you're saying them going to the wild card healthy.
Yeah, I would much rather just take the wild card playing healthy than like the divisional, and we're 2-2 in our last 4 for sure. I mean, that's what's going to take either way.
Patriots too. I know they got the Giants tonight.
Only 7-point favorites on Monday Night Football against the 2-10 New York Giants. Can we get it done,
T-Man? We just watched on Thanksgiving and the Friday after 2 teams, 7-point dogs went outright.
The odds of all of those dogs covering all weekend were way longer than this game tonight. Giants have nothing to play for. Patriots might feel like this isn't a get-up spot for them, even though they're on Monday Night Football. Let's make Drake May a little uncomfortable. That's all I'm saying. They got 2 home games, them, and then Bills go to town, 14th after that. And they got the Ravens. And the Ravens, they're going into their hood, and the Ravens are playing also for a wild card spot. So I don't know. Things could get a little spooky over these next 3 weeks for the Patriots. Things are going to get spooky for certain. Speaking of spooky, do we have this clip, Don? Everyone, we got some name callers going on in the National Football.
We have more people calling each other a hoe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
We has. I mean, this was when I saw this clip for the first time, I was positive that this was like an AI, like someone like I was going to see the Sora, or I was going to see like something.
Right.
Don, let's give us a full screen, can we, real quick, and then let's play this bad boy.
No, not me. Hold up. What's going on? Here we go. All right, let's full screen this
if we can. There we go.
All right.
He's a hoe, and I want that known. Like, I see why he got punched in the nuts, because that's he says some things that you should not say to another man ever. But I don't respect it because you say that, then run behind your O-line. That's some real soft shit, and I want that known. I see exactly why they punched the nuts. I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet. He's a hoe, and I want that known. Like, I see why he got punched in the nuts.
I think we got to keep the clip. He's a hoe, and I want that known. Like, that's
I don't respect it because you say that, then run behind your O-line.
I think that you got to stop the clip after he's a hoe. I want that known, and he deserved to get punched in the nuts.
He's a hoe. And I want that known. Like, I see why he got punched in the nuts.
Just there. Clip it. That is a soundbite.
I'm just saying, like, why do we tell these athletes that they have to be so buttoned up and professional? This is going to be like more. The next time these 2 players play, I need to see them out on the field. I'm not even invested in this matchup, right? It's like, but I need to see it now that I see this trash talk.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I mean, This is the
ultimate way to get people more invested in other teams or better characters, better trash talking. Again, you have to have a limit to it, but Like, I mean, that was hilarious.
It's like when Ryan Miller called Milan Lucic.
Yes, you need those moments. Like, that's what makes sports reality TV.
That's the funny thing. This weekend between the Lane Kiffin kid and this, I've heard people call each other a bitch or pussy or soft. I haven't heard players call each other a hoe.
Hoe is back.
Guy.
I don't know if you guys
back.
remember during the Last Dance when Michael Jordan kept calling that one teammate a hoe?
Yeah.
Like this is the most it's been back in basically half a decade. So hoe is back. You can't turn a hoe to a housewife, apparently. Shout out. That's ludicrous? I think it's ludicrous. I believe it's ludicrous. It would have been ludicrous to miss this past 72 hours. Or actually 48 and a half more. Sabres win in Minnesota against the top team in the NHL.
Yep,
Bills obviously got done yesterday. And then the Banditos against the Georgia Swarm getting it done. Oh, you thought Dane Smith was washed up? Well, 4 goals, 4 assists, right in your face. Daner back like he never left Slick.
Doesn't seem like washed up to me. The power of 4 in full effect. And speaking of 4, a 4th Buffalo team getting the win this past weekend as well. Multiply 4 by 2.
8-0.
8-0 for UB men's basketball. Best start in over a decade.
Yeah, let's kind of compartmentalize this. What surprised you? I mean, because the Bandits isn't surprising that they won, I would say. What surprised you the most on the weekend? Was it the UB being able to maintain this strong start, or was it the Sabres going on a back-to-back after a tough loss and winning in Minnesota?
Sabres on the back-to-back and winning in Minnesota. Obviously, Minnesota's a good team. The line was sketchy. It did tell you that the Sabres had a fighting chance here, which no one thought made sense. But every now and then, Vegas gets behind the Sabres when not much does make sense. So that was definitely more surprising to me. But, and I think that's more right because we expect UB to beat that Canisius program. Obviously, there's going to be some tougher games down the line, maybe like the DePauls and the Bucknells.
St. Bonaventure this weekend.
So I think going into the Canisius, no one really was worried as much as the Sabres. I don't know if anyone thought we even really had a fighting chance after the back-to-back. I don't know about you, Don.
Yeah, I'm definitely was. Well, I don't know. I'll say comparatively to those 3, I was most surprised by the Sabres, but I also felt good going into that game. I think Gatesy kind of tweeted something like, all eyes are on the Bandits. Sabres are down. No one's watching them. So this means they're going to win, which is pretty much what happens. When no one's watching, this team is great. When they sell out the arena, they lay an egg and get blown out 5-0. So
true.
But Bandits game, I just want to talk, blasted the game, saw my first ever major penalty out of goaley. Goalie gets put in the box. They have to bring her back up.
Ian McKay is going to need about 10 hours with the masseuse just on the neck area after that play.
He's going to need a chiropractor.
I mean, geez, you need a realignment.
Yeah.
My honest first thought was, I hope he's okay. Then he got
that goalie.
It was a check right to the neck.
Scumbag. Yeah. I mean, ball long gone. Ian's following the play around the net. Goalie has no business leaving the crease on that play.
Yeah. But then I didn't realize, so that the Bandits don't score on the 5-minute power play, which is crazy. But at the end of the 5-minute scrum of the power play, there's a loose ball in the crease for Georgia, and it's kind of ball doesn't lie scenario because you have a backup goalie in who probably didn't get a full warm up, probably didn't get a full loose. Gives it to Deoga. Easy cash. Not only just an easy cash, but like one of the funniest reactions to a goal that has ever happened.
Yeah, just like. Yeah, the claps right in front of the goalie's face.
It was like
turns around, walks away.
Like, thank you, nice pass.
To
me.
And he even did a quick little fake out once he got it. He was totally control. It was not just I got it easy.
The fake out was so unnecessary.
It was it's amazing.
It was just wild because in hockey, if a goalie gets a penalty, someone serves it. But they made him go into the box, and then the other guy came out, and then once there was a whistle, he was able to come back into the game. Also, someone with a balloon totally hit it into the penalty box, and they one of the guys in the box hit it back out. That was kind of good sportsmanship, because if that was me, I would have grabbed it and just popped it.
That was very good sportsmanship.
It was interesting too, because I think they were going to let someone serve until they deemed.
And then someone pointed out, there was a little moment where they're like, "Wait, nope, you got to come."
Yeah, I think they deemed it was a major, and then someone was like, "Well, shouldn't he be in the box.
And then it threw me off because he started sprinting at the box area so quick. I thought he was going to argue the call.
I thought he was going to
get in their
fight
face.
someone.
Okay, but he started sprinting because he just wanted to get in the box quick because he was like clearly embarrassed by what he did.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And then just to be clear, did keep an eye on him for post-game handshakes. We were looking, I think some of us were, because we're like, what's going to happen when McKay gets the goal? Just a dap up, sportsmanship. Like at the end of the day, like
Ian's too good for that.
Like
shit.
at the end of the day, these are paid professionals to play lacrosse, and sometimes the wires get crossed out there. You know what I mean? You do
guys are competitive in the heat of the battle. Play between the whistles. You know, it wasn't after the play. It was dirty, but he did the crime and did the time. So that's all you can ask. And also, shout out Bandit Land. Little bit of got to get on the same page with the chants. Apparently, people are saying you suck too early.
The you suck is coming too early during the announcement of the penalty, and thus,
the
announcement of the goal scorer. I'm sorry, and it's blending into the goal scorer cheer. We need to make sure those are separate. Thank you, the Bandits Facebook group, for getting that going.
Well, also, I don't know if they mentioned this as well. We missed several BOX opportunities from the "You Suck" chant playing as soon as these majors were identified. So, just saying.
Yeah.
Winding it down. So we got a big couple of weeks ahead. We've got the chicken wing eating contest. We've got holiday parties. We've got Don might have a holiday album coming out, I heard, and we got the 12 days of Slickbest Conference Championship weekend ahead. Lot to look forward to for certain. So we'll be getting into that later in the week. Real quick shout out, Jacob Biran standing on his head. The call was great on this too. This was awesome. Yeah.
What was the call?
I think he did like a Rick Jenrette type call, didn't he? Don, do we have the clip?
Yeah, he makes like a crazy like sliding save.
It's like Hasek-esque moving or save, Or Baran.
There we go. Let me
Hey, you could. Baran flopped from the
Marty.
How's the Army?
Comes nice. Has a man on its goal. Backhand. Save it by Biran. Makes the save on a rebound.
Watch this. Bang. Sliding across. This is a gut. Block shot. Slides across. Makes another save. Another save.
In a 5-4 game with 16 to go. Yeah. Holy hell.
I think it's standing.
Call copy robbed and blind.
Yeah. Shades of Rick Jenrette for sure.
Frozen tundra of Lake Erie.
The people were laughing in the crowd.
Yeah, that was hard to call.
So and I mean that's a big win. Like Army isn't really known as a hockey school. UMass definitely is.
Always. I think the live line was there, like plus 1,000.
I mean, live right then.
Was it a Scranton PA type win?
I don't know. Army was up there 5-4. That live line was definitely teetering.
I don't know if it was that much.
Not the live on there. I'm talking about pregame.
That's not live.
Yeah, I'd say even more than that.
Yeah, probably more than that.
Yeah. They were big dogs. UMass is always competitive in the tournament every year. Pretty much and now UMass Amherst slightly outside of Boston. So are they in the Bean? I don't think they're in the Bean Cup.
I think they are.
All right. I don't know. Amherst
in the Bean. You mean in the Bean
Cup?
The
Bean Pot.
No, I think they're in there.
Okay. Because I'm going to say any Boston team, is always in the mix, and it always is going to be like normally top 20.
They're not. You're right. BC, Boston University, Harvard, and Northeastern.
Friend of the program, UMass Amherst hockey alumni, Johnny Lazarus.
Shout out Lazarus. I mean, I love when someone says that Lazarus has no clue what he's talking about, and he just plays the clip of him going around the defender and just tickling the twine every time. Oh my
God, and the Sally too.
I love it, dude. I literally live for it. It's my favorite post of his. You got to keep it going for sure.
I'm sure he's got some eligibility left.
Yeah, he's got some juice left in those skates for sure. Closing out the weekend with the craziest of it all, we had Gronk at Rec Room. I only included Gronk at Rec Room because A, he was at Rec Room, and B, we kind of had like the whole thing with UPL only like 4 days ago. Wait,
when was Gronk at Rec Room?
This past weekend.
For Thanksgiving Eve.
Something.
I think it was Friday or Saturday
Someone had
night.
a very awkward video from like filming him below and like the upper like thing. Like, and he wasn't being like, yeah, everybody party. Like he was just like hanging out. Like, so
he was probably there for like 20 minutes.
It's just like, why are we doing this? I don't get it. A guy at a private bar, you know what I mean? Like if someone's at a public appearance, someone's hosting a party.
So I think it was Saturday night. He gave a little wave to the crowd from the balcony and that was that.
Yeah. I'm sure he just wants to hang out with his friends. Anyways, again, I get it. People love big names for sure. But speaking of big names, Lane Kiffin, we kind of talked about this. Did we talk about this on Friday with the reporter interaction? Because I know we were later show.
Yeah, we talked about it at Herbal about, well, I don't think this was before the reporter interaction happened. So we haven't talked about that. But we were talking about what we thought, the whole situation being crazy, what we thought was going to happen, if he was going to stay or if he was going to go. Post game, as after they win the Egg Bowl, and the whole reporter incident happens where I have the guy's name. What is it? Ben Garrett, who hosts like a Ole Miss kind of podcast. I think he has a blog too. He's credentialed, so he's allowed in on the field. He's allowed in the press conferences. In a podcast, he said, how his feelings about Lane Kiffin are, you don't turn a hoe into a housewife. Hoes don't act right. Pretty much saying like someone that was committed to this program wouldn't be going through all this. And
I feel like when you read the text, like he wasn't like dropping like a beat or like a diss track. Like he was saying like, this kind of reminds me of like the Ludacris track where it's like basically he was alluding to it more than anything, right?
Yeah. And then Lane Kiffin confronts him surrounded by 3 or 4 armed sheriffs.
Five armed sheriffs, like hand on holster.
Yeah. Say, you want to call me a hoe? Come inside. Turns around before the kid can even
very quickly
make a comment. And the internet's, I think initially the internet was split. Now I think everyone is like realizes Lane was kind of a fool because what is this kid supposed to do? Sock him? Like right then and there.
1,000%. Dude, there were so many people dunking on this reporter. Like, you didn't have shit to say when he prayed. Like, what was this guy gonna do? Like the only thing that guy could have done was like I said, that would have like kind of like at least like froze him. Would have been like, yeah, I still think you're a hoe. Or something like that. Yeah. Or, yeah, I'll come inside. Let's go.
Well, imagine he just went, you are a hoe.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So after all those theatrics, they have the post-game press conference. Lane opened it up talking about how that's out of line. Call another man a hoe. And then Ben Garrett, the guy he approached on the field,
brings
butts in and then says, in the press conference, he said, he includes a full quote, says, I wasn't calling you a hoe. It was more of a statement about your commitment to this program. And then Lane Kiffin's response after the guy kind of doubles down is he just waves it. I'm not talking about that. It moves on.
Wait, so he brought it up to begin the press conference? I didn't know that.
So the kid stood on business.
Oh, big time.
And Lane kind of refused to. He's like, I'm not. So it's like, I don't know. Anyone that's saying
I'm going to approach you with 5 armed guards. And then at my press conference, I'm going to say the first statement when you ask about it, I'm not going to answer. Like the proof, like put that in context for any situation.
It is funny. He said, let's go inside. Like the kid's probably thinking like, I am going to inside. Like I'm going to the presser, like where you're going to be.
And then now, he was right as ever. I mean, Lane Kiffin has the messiest exit maybe in NCAA college football history where he doesn't even address the team.
The players. The only crazier one was Bobby Petrino, who literally left the Atlanta Falcons for the Arkansas Razorbacks or whatever in the middle of the night. And it was at like midnight on a Tuesday, and they were doing the press conference where they do like the ooh, big suey, like, and it's crazy, dude. I'm telling you, it's a surreal video. So but like that's the only one I can think of during my lifetime that even resembles how messy this was.
Yeah, it's messy. He doesn't address the team. Apparently, they were going to go have a meeting. There was this heated standoff where he's pretty much saying, "Hey, you better let me finish out this school year, even though I'm going to coach for another school year.
Your rival.
Your rival in the SEC, or I'm going to take all these recruits with me. I'm going to take my coaching staff. I'm going to get everyone to leave." Now, as you saw it all shaken out, they got 2 planes. Lane Kiffin got on the first one. The second one was for assistant coaches. I believe I saw only 2 coaches got on. So a lot of people in that program, including his own assistants, kind of gave him a big middle finger. You have now Bills fans are known for showing up at airports to cheer our team in. You see the airport video of everyone showing up as he's getting on the plane, flipping him off.
Yeah, like he's just pacing like right to he's not like panicking, but he's just like, get me on this plane. Can you pull up the Lane Kiffin statement tweet? And the thing, by the way, 35 million views. I was watching this thing in real time yesterday. It was like 0.1, 0.4, like it was going nuts.
On his statement?
Yeah, this is so funny. I was hoping to complete a historic 6-season run with this year's team by leading Ole Miss through the playoffs, capitalizing on this team's incredible success, and investing everything into a playoff run with guardrails in place to protect the program in any areas of concern. Well, for the idea that you have to say guardrails in place is crazy. But the reply tweet, if you scroll down by John Tweet Sports, is hilarious.
Yeah.
I made the difficult decision to leave my wife, who's been very loyal to me, for a woman she despises. I was hoping to keep living in our house through Christmas and acting like nothing was wrong. My request was denied by my wife despite the kids wanting me to stay through Christmas, which is basically like a dumbed down version of what this is that the people in charge are like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're basically betraying us, like, to our faces
in real time.
And Lane's like, well, but we can still finish out this year. Like, you know, which is
also
good.
Also, I don't know, despite the reports I heard was like players were furious Sunday morning and like wanted answers, and he kind of dodged them, didn't address the team, dodged everyone. What was it? And Keith Carter, he was like in his office. He's like, this isn't your office anymore. Get out. And pretty much
so
like,
we have the audio from the meeting or whatever, or Barstool had it or something.
Oh yeah. Let's.
We don't have to play too much of it, but that's crazy that we got this audio from the meeting. And then, by the way, sometimes we tip up audio and it's like not like real. Like, this is real, correct?
Yeah, I gotta find it. I thought I bookmarked it.
It's all good. We'll put a brief pin in it because we'll get into.
Yeah, we'll bring it back for.
Yeah, because we'll have plenty of opportunity to bring it back in our next segment. Who's hot and who is not? Because my hot is Lane Kiffin. All I have to say is if you're this much of a scumbag and a dirtbag and it's obvious to everyone and you're still wanted at a great level, it just speaks to how hot you are. So shout out Lane Kiffin for being that hot. I mean, can you argue with that?
No, I can't. I don't have a
That's what I'm saying. And then Cam Newton, he's no longer has the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback sole leader there. And he shouted out OJ Simpson. What was it?
I believe he said, God rest his soul.
God rest his soul respectfully.
Respectfully.
He threw the respectfully after God rest his soul.
He said,
and then there was a pause.
OJ Simpson, respectfully.
There was a pause where everybody literally,
No, I don't know who it was that was on the desk with him. You can hear someone go, Like one of those questionable agreements.
And he goes respectfully. So Cam Newton, not the greatest 24 hours there.
All right. So just an update about the Barstool thing. I think they deleted it, here we go. I was going to say I phone recorded it in case they did. So we'll finish who's hot or not, who's not, and then play that.
And then we'll close with the meeting audio. It's the ultimate crash out.
Yeah.
It's like, who do you got for who's hot?
All right, my who's hot. Didn't think I'd be saying this year. Chicago sports. Obviously, the Cubs had a run. I just blinked overnight, and the Bears are 9-3, leading the NFC. I feel like at no point during the season, this NFL season, had I ever looked at the Bears nor their record and thought this is a good football team that might make the playoffs, let alone lead a conference. The Bulls are 9-10, looking to get over 500. Strong start to the season, though. And the Blackhawks over 500, first time in a while. Young, exciting team. Who is not hot, we'll switch over to another city, and that is in Pittsburgh. Renegade, as you saw per the video earlier, not
down bad.
Hot. I want to throw Jalen Ramsey in there, too, just because he said our quarterback's trash, and he's 0-7 or 0-8 since. Maybe that song won't be being played in that stadium anymore, although they're probably too stupid to even realize that. So
that's tough.
All right. So who's hot? I got Ben Garrett, the reporter we were just talking about.
This guy,
both sides are hot.
I have to see what this guy's doing the next 48 hours because he needs to be on everything.
Yeah, his stock is high as ever. So, I mean, he's got to be capitalizing. And hey, if you're an old Miss fan, you got to love this guy. This guy, I think, he's he's setting himself up for a career bigger than just being, a college kid with a blog and stuff. So that was really the biggest favor anyone could have done was what Wayne Kiffin did.
This kid's going to
put all eyes on him and tie him into the storyline.
This kid's going to have an NIL deal by the end of next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he'll enter the transfer portal. We'll see. Probably not.
Follow Lane to LSU. Guess who's back? Oh.
That's the thing. It's just so ridiculous. Sports is the best reality TV. All I'm saying is that you knew this was happening. Everybody knew this was happening with the Bulls. Like people were like, Florida Lane watch. No, he was never going to Florida. The fact that this all was known to be happening, but people could still be so upset when it finally does happen, that's sports. That's the best reality TV.
Yeah, and so I'm sticking with the Lane story for who's not. Juice Kiffin. Apparently left behind at Ole Miss. He left his dog. It's not his dog. It's maybe the university's dog.
It's a university dog
that they let him have as a publicity thing, and that's how messy this got. Ole Miss said, "We're keeping the dog.
We're keeping the dog." Kiffin's not taking that dog with him to LSU.
It is a messy divorce. Yeah, so Juice Kiffin, he's going to have to get a new last name, I guess. It's going to be
Juice Drinking, by the way.
Yeah, but it's all over the Ole Miss message boards as the guy playing left the dog behind.
I mean,
dog ain't going to Louisiana.
You just don't do that.
Yeah, so that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But so that concludes our who's hot or who's not.
We've had 5 straight weeks, by the way. Weekends. Bills and Sabres win. Bills and Sabres lose. Bills and Sabres win. Bills and Sabres lose. Yesterday, last weekend, last 2 days.
So this Sabres game is huge. So huge week for the Sabres.
We got UPL in net tonight. Hopefully people aren't crashing out over that. There wasn't a lot to crash out over this weekend. If you do have anything to crash out, just remember to crash out on our line. Don't crash out online. 716-226-6263. You could send in audio messages. You could send in texts. We read them all on the crash out line. Do we want to do the meeting audio to close out, or are we ready to roll?
Yeah, let's see what we got. And
let's see how this goes.
If it's boring, we'll pull the plug.
But. Yeah.
Thank you for coming. I know it's been an interesting few days. A lot of let's meet at this time, let's move at that time, and all that stuff. We do have something we want to tell you today. I'm going to let our Chancellor, Glenn Boyd, say just a couple of words, and I'm going to come back up real quick.
Hey, good afternoon, man. I'm just going to say this to you. I'm a former coach, by the way. I started my career coaching football, basketball, and so on and so forth. Got to play the game. Had it not been for the game, I never would have went to college. So I just want to make you aware that watching you guys has been the highlight of my
When you
career.
coach a team, you stick with it. This guy's going to say.
It's been special. This is a special football team. And I know you guys understand what you're capable of achieving. And just a few weeks ago, my oldest daughter, who's an amazing fan of yours, said, "Dad, this group's good enough to win it all." People out there believe in you. They believe you can win it all. There's no question about it. I know it's been some tough weeks. I get it. But you know what? You guys have played your way through it. You've shown your maturity. It's been amazing what you've achieved. This is historic. This team will never, ever be forgotten at this university.
Typically say something you say, but this is all bracing him for bad, right?
Prefacing something, yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, I can't thank you enough for it. And I'm here to say for our alumnus and for this fan base who has suffered for a long time, man, you guys have brought that suffering to an end. And we appreciate you more than you'll ever know.
Bringing suffering to an end. Great work, boys.
There will come a time, man. There will come a time, even during all these tough times you're experiencing, you're going to look back and know that you came at a special time to this university.
Oh, a very special.
Yeah.
I promise you. Sometime 10, 15 years from now.
How long we got left in this?
Yeah, I don't know. This might be
Go 30 seconds ahead.
Yeah, I know.
let's see what.
Oh, yeah, go to the.
Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting run. Thank you.
So they're going to clap for him.
That was all just like, you guys did great. We'll never be forgotten.
Listen, again, I know it's been a tough 3 or 4 weeks. As the chancellor said, I just want to commend you guys on fighting through that. A lot of stuff, a lot of noise out there. Man, you guys perform. You guys played your ass off. It's been so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. This sounds just like
right, so much ado about nothing.
Yeah, so
That's it, but I have much to do about something, and it's not just the fact that it is a UPL night tonight for the Sabres. Making his return to the lineup tonight.
Ooh.
Second game as a Buffalo Sabre. Josh Norris. Back in lineup. The 26-year-old forward is back. Getting added back to that lineup.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what line he ends up on. Do they have lines out yet?
I don't believe
Probably
so, but
not
obviously
official
make sure
lineups.
keep it tuned to Crossing Swords podcast for all of that. Of course, thank you for tuning along today on Herd of Buffalo, Trainwreck Sports. You know the action never stops. We got all kinds of stuff. Make sure you catch up with that LOL Buffalo episode that just came out. It is never stopping. It's a Victory Monday. Huge shout out to Slick. Huge shout out to Dreamboat Don. Huge shout out to Alec and the team here at Bruckman Media as we sign off. But make sure to go have a great rest of your weekend. There's only one way to do that. Start off with a good day now.